Chapter 29, A Note to Future Ghosts. An open door to what comes after. Every life eventually becomes part of the past. At some point, each of us will be the echo in someone else's memory, the photograph in a drawer, the story told across a kitchen table. We will be a presence carried in the way another person recalls our voice, or in the image of our face when they close their eyes. This is not a reason for despair. It is an invitation to reflect on the shape of what we leave behind, and to consider that one day we will exist mostly in the traces others hold. To think of yourself as a future ghost is to accept that there will come a time when you cannot explain yourself, clarify your intentions, or complete what you began. Others will remember in fragments. They will keep some truths alive and let others fade. Your life will be interpreted through their needs, their experiences, their distance from the moment you lived it. The picture they hold will never be the whole of you, but it will still carry something real. This is not about clinging to control. It is about loosening your grip and trusting that what truly matters will find its way forward, even if it travels in forms you could never have predicted. Every generation leaves messages for those that follow. Some are deliberate, letters written, photographs labelled, instructions carefully passed down. Others are less visible, carried in habits, unspoken values, and even in the silences we maintained. Those who come after us will live in a world we cannot fully imagine. Our words may be heard in circumstances far removed from the ones in which we spoke them. What we meant as reassurance might be taken as a challenge. Something we considered insignificant might one day become a lifeline. Our messages, spoken or unspoken, will not be received exactly as we intended, and perhaps they are not meant to be. To leave an open door to the future is to make space for interpretation. It is to release the need to manage the meaning of your life, and instead to live so that the core of what you value, presence, kindness, resilience, memory, is unmistakable. The rest will be decided by those who step through the door after you. This approach lifts the weight of perfection from our shoulders. It allows us to accept that parts of our story will be lost, misread, or overlooked, and that this is not a failure but part of time's natural rhythm. What matters is that something of our presence remains available to those who need it, even if it surfaces years or generations later. The echoes we leave are not abstract. They inhabit the body and the spaces where others move after we are gone. The shape of our presence, even in absence, can affect how people walk into a room, how they speak to each other, how they meet the challenges of their own lives. Someone might one day find themselves repeating a small gesture they first saw in you, the way you touched the back of a chair before sitting down, or the pause you took before answering a difficult question. Words can travel even further. A phrase you used often might resurface decades later in the mouth of someone you never met, carried along an invisible chain of retelling. Landscapes can hold your resonance too, the corner of a kitchen where you always stood to make tea, the bench where you once listened as a friend unburdened their sorrow, the path you walked each evening as the light faded. Someone else might one day stand in those places and feel a pull without knowing why. Small rituals have the same power. The bread you baked on winter mornings, the candle you kept in a window, the plant you tended year after year, these may continue in the hands of another, perhaps without them realizing they are repeating yours. In this way, presence can survive the passing of time, becoming a quiet thread between now and what is still to come. We cannot decide exactly how we will be remembered, but we can live in ways that make it more likely we will leave something worth carrying forward. This does not require grand gestures or flawless lives. It requires steady acts of care in the everyday, in the tone of voice we use, in the way we show up, in the promises we keep. If patience matters to you, practice it in traffic, in queues, in conversations that wander. If honesty matters, hold to it even in small, forgettable moments. Keep confidences. Offer help without expecting repayment. Share your own mistakes and moments of change with those who might one day need the perspective they contain. And perhaps most importantly, resist the urge to control the meaning others will make of you. Let them find their own path through the traces you leave. Your life's work, relationships, and contributions are all threads in a fabric that will be handled by others. They may weave them into their own time in ways that suit needs you never foresaw. Eventually, our voices will fade and others will speak in our place. They will tell their own stories, shaped in part by the presence we once carried, but altered by their own lives. This is the way it has always been. We are not meant to hold presence still. We are temporary carriers, passing it forward in ways that will continue long after we have gone. The echoes of our lives will not remain in perfect shape. They will bend, shift, and sometimes transform entirely. What we thought was a certainty may return as a question. What we considered small may become for someone else the central thing. To see yourself as a future ghost is to welcome this uncertainty. It is to trust that the essence of your presence will survive in ways you cannot predict, and to accept that the most lasting part of you may not be your name or your achievements, but the quiet difference you made in how someone else lives, loves, or remembers. The ghost movement does not close here. Its threads continue in every exchange, every gesture, every act of remembrance that happens far beyond these pages. The open door remains, waiting for those yet to come to cross the threshold, carrying forward whatever part of this presence has become theirs to keep alive. And from here, we move toward the space where memory no longer belongs only to the past, but begins to travel ahead of us, shaping what has not yet arrived.